Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the final puzzle in the Sudoku Take Out pack number 4, the Trivalent Sudoku pack. So this is the hardest puzzle in the Anti-Diagonal pack that we've created, and it's called Phantom Zone, and it's a palindrome puzzle created by me, but I did a lot of work on this one with Maggie. Maggie only wants to have her name on a puzzle if she has been kind of the key person involved in it, but she also wants to have my name on it as well because she feels that I contribute a lot to the puzzles. This was a grid that we originally had a lot more constraints in, and we ended up pulling them back when we found some really interesting logic, and we found that the extra constraints, the extra palindromes we had in it, actually didn't do that much for the grid. They made the puzzle easier, but they kind of obscured some of the interesting logic. But I do want to point out, this is a tricky puzzle. A couple of our testers could not finish this puzzle. So there's some stuff at the beginning that is quite tricky. So we'll have to see how people go. Of course, I'm sure many of you will just plow straight through the puzzle and solve it very quickly, and that's perfectly fine. The important thing is that you have fun with it. I'm not here to try and be competitive. I'm not here to turn around and say, I've made a puzzle that most of you can't solve. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to present puzzles that I found interesting, and I found some really interesting stuff on this one. So yeah, we were very happy with it. Of course, we're releasing these puzzles as a pay. This is being the final puzzle in the pack, but we do release these packs as a pay what you want using my Ko-fi. Zero is perfectly fine. I'm going to continue releasing these for free and turn around and say, if you think these are worth it, please donate. I'm not going to lock these behind a paywall. I'm not going to force anyone to subscribe to my Patreon or anything to get the puzzle packs I release. I'm going to make them available for free for people and then say, if you think they were worth it, then please contribute. I think that is a much nicer way of doing it, because that way I'm not turning around and saying, if you can't afford it, you have to feel obliged, or if I release a bad pack, just don't pay for that one. A couple of bucks would be great. Anything over $5 and you're probably overpaying. Let's have a look at Phantom Zone. Of course, there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, but this is the final puzzle. But if you want to get the entire pack, the link for that will be below as well. So let's have a look at the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Then we've got the anti-diagonal rule, which was the main thing for this pack, which is along these marked diagonals, they may only contain 3 distinct digits, which means once you've placed 3 different digits on the line, those are the only 3 digits that can be used on the line. And then palindromes, digits on these grey lines must read the same in either direction. So for example, if this was to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, that would be fine, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. If this was a 5, however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 2, 1 is not the same as 1, 2, 5, 4, because what is it? Whatever the number is. Was it 12,544,321 is not the same as 12,344,000. The number would not be the same if you wrote them in either direction. Whichever direction you read from, the number should be identical. That's the way palindromes work. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So the clue for, and I do know the path for this, so again, do not use the time of this video as an indication of difficulty. A lot of my testers could not finish this one. So the clue for this one was the 2 4s looking into this box have forced a 4 into one of those 2 cells. So we know there must be a 4 on this anti-diagonal line. So there's a 4 in one of those 2, and there's a 4 in one of those. Now this can't be the 4, because if this was the 4, we'd have to put a 4 on this line. So we can't put a 4 here. So there's a 4 in one of those 2 and a 4 in one of those 2. Okay. Now, at this point, you need to do some hunting. Now, I know what to look for, but what we're looking for now is digits that are incredibly restricted. Now, you could start by trying to color the palindromes, and that would be perfectly fine, or you could look for restricted digits. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing it. some people will find there's a couple of clues that are important. The thing that I want to call out that people may find, and this is something that a couple of the testers found, is 8 is actually a bit restricted in this box. Because if we look at where 8 can go, well, 8 can't go in any of those cells because they're already covered, and 8 can't go in any of those cells. Okay, so can we put 8 here? Well, if we put 8 here, that would put 8 here because of the palindrome, because this is the second cell along the palindrome and this is the second cell along the palindrome. So if we put 8 here, that would put 8 here. But if we put 8 here, that means 8 is in one of those 3 cells and would need to go in one of those 3 cells, and it can't. So 8 can't go here, so 8 can't go here, and this cannot be an 8. Similarly, if this was an 8, this would be an 8, which is a direct conflict. So 8 is in one of these 3 cells. Now, that seems a bit restricted for this anti-diagonal. So it's like, okay, is anything going on with any of these cells? Is there any reason why that cell there can't be an 8? And the thing to look at now, and this is the way that this puzzle was kind of set when we were playing with it and as we were exploring things. And what we do as we look at this column is we realize there's a problem with 1s. Because 1 can't go in any of those cells because there's already a 1 in them. 1 can't go in any of already digits in them. 1 can't go in any of those because there's a 1 in the box. Okay. 1 can't go here because if we put 1 here, there'd need to be a 1 in one of those 3 cells. And we can't do that because there's already a 1. So there's no 1 here. 1 can't go here because a 1 here is seen already in the row. So 1 is in one of these 2 cells. Is there a problem with putting a 1 here? And the answer turns out to be yes, because if we put a 1 here, we need to put a 1 into one of those 3 cells. And all of those are impossible. A 1 here by palindrome would put a 1 here, which we can't do. That's not a 1. A 1 here would put a 1 here by palindrome, which we can't do. That's not a 1. And a 1 here would put a 1 in one of those 3 cells, which we can't do. We can't put a 1 here. We can't put a 1 in any of those 3 cells, so that is not a 1. That becomes a 1. And the interesting thing about that is now 4 and 8 both need to be on this diagonal. But we can't put 4 or 8 in that central cell because if we put a 4, 8 there, we'd need to put 4 or 8 on this line, and that 4, 8 prevents it. This is a 4, 8 pair. 4 and 8 need to go up here. 8 is in one of those 2. That is the start of the break-in to this puzzle, and it stays tricky, but that discovery broke quite a few people. Okay, now I need to remember what comes next, because I honestly don't remember. I know there's another trick coming. And I think it's around what can this be? What is it possible for this cell to be? It can't be 1 because I can't put 1 down here. So let's just put all of the options in and then remove. It can't be 4 or 8 because 4 or 8 is already in the box. It can't be 1 because I can't put 1 down here. It can't be 3 because I can't put 3 down here. It can't be 2 because I can't put 2 up here. It can't be 6 because I can't put 6 down here. 5, 7, or 9, and it can't be 7 because I can't put 7 up here. So this is either 5 or 9. Okay, so this is 5 or 9. And I've got a problem with my phone going a little bit crazy. So this is 5 or 9. Now the question then becomes, which of these cells can be yellow? So let's just pencil mark all of these options, shall we? Because now they're from 4, 8, 5, and 9 only, because they can only be 4, 8, 5, 9. So let's pencil these. These are 4, 5, 8, 9. That one can't be 5 or 8. This one can't be 4. This one can be any of them, I believe. These are 4, 5, 8, and 9. This one can't be 8. This one can't be 4. Okay, so we end up in this situation. But there's an interesting trick going on with the palindromes, which is 3 cells along the palindrome is that cell. 3 cells along the palindrome is that cell. So this has to be a 5, an 8, or a 9. So what happens if this was the 5 or 9? If this was the 5 or 9, the only place it could go in here is in the central cell. So if this was 5 or 9, it would have to go there in order to meet the anti-diagonal rule. But if this was 5 or 9, this cell would be that and also that, and those would be the same digit, because by anti-diagonal it would have to go there, but by palindrome it would have to go there. This can't be 5 or 9. That's an 8, making that an 8. Similarly, those are the same cell. We can get rid of the green, and let's actually get rid of the green there and change this yellow to green. These are the same, and these are 4, 5, and 9. And this is where all of these 4s and 8s that were placed in the grid became important, as well as these other digits to restrict this down to 5 or 9. Very careful placement of digits on this one. This digit, if it was 5 or 9, would have to go there, but would break the palindrome. So these can't be 5 or 9, and those become 4, which means that's not a 4, and that forces that part of the palindrome, which I thought was this break-in of those being 8s and those being 4s because of the 4-8 with the 5-9, I thought was absolutely fascinating. And when we found that, we needed to make a grid that preserved that level or that break-in without doing anything else. And all the other palindromes we had broke that break-in. And I'm sure other people will find a bypass. Now I need to remember the rest of this puzzle because all I remembered was that. I don't remember anything else about this puzzle. Okay, so 4, 4 means 4 is in one of these. Right, 4 is in one of these by Sudoku, but I can't put 4 here because that would put 4 here, which sees that. So 4 is in one of those. So I can't put 4 in any of those or any of those. 4 is in one of these 3. I can't put 4 here because that would put 4 here, which is broken, and I can't put 4 here. So this is a 4 right here, which looks like making this a 9, and there must be a 4 in one of these. So this is 4, 8, 9. So this is a 9, and this is no 5. This is 4, 8, 9. Okay, that was easier than I remembered. Okay, 5 is in one of these 2 now because of the 5 looking up. This is a triple, 1, 2, 5, and 7. So if this is 2, 5, 7, this is 2, 5, 7, and it can't be 7 because if it was 7, I'd need to put 7 in one of those. So this is 2 or 5, so this is 2 or 5. If this is 2, 5, 7, this is 2, 5, 7 because those are the same digit. Okay, that does, well, there must be a 9 in one of those. It must be in one of those 2 because that 9 prevents there. There must be a 9 in one of these, and it must be in one of those 2 for the same reason. This is down to 4 digits, where this one was down to 3. Can I restrict that any further? There must be a 2 or a 5 up here. That can't be a 5. That can't be a 2. Can I do more with 4s? 4 is in one of those 2. No, that's the restriction on 4s. That's okay. Oh, this 5 makes that a 2. So there must be a 2 up here in one of those 2, and there must be a 2 down here in one of those 2. If that's a 2, that's a 2, and these become 5, 7. And if that's a 5, 7, that's a 5, 7, which gives me a 5, 7 in the row. That's still 4 possible digits, so I'm not sure that's what I'm looking for yet. What can this be? So it can't be 1, it can't be 2, it could be 3, it can't be 4, it could be 5, 6, 7, or 8, I think. Can't be 8 because I can't put 8 on the diagonal. Can't be 7, I can't put 7 on the diagonal. So this is 3, 5, or 6. So that is this digit, which can't be 5. So this is only 3 or 6. So this is 3 or 6. So these are from 2, 3, 6, and 9. That one can't be 2 or 6. This one can't be 3. This one can't be 9. And these are 2, 3, 6, and 9. That one can't be 9. That one can't be 2 or 6. That one can't be 3. Okay. One is in one of those two. I'm not sure that's particularly helpful. One, oh no, 1, 1. One is up in one of those two. What can this be? Because they're the same digit. They're at the end of the palindrome. They can't be 1. They can be 2, can't be 3, 4, or 5. Can be 6, 7, can't be 8 or 9. So these are 2, 6, or 7. Well, where's 7 in this box? 7 means 7's not in those. This is a 7, and this is 3, 5, 3, 5, and 6. And there must be a 5 up here. So this is 3, 5, 6. Okay. This isn't a 2. The 2 is looking up, saying that's not a 2, but there must be a 2 on this because of that. So that's a 2. Saying this isn't a 2, so this isn't a 2. These are a 6, 7. And where are they in this box? That digit must go there because by Sudoku, they can't be in any of those. Not a 2, not a 4 or an 8. This is a 6 or a 7. Okay. This is the same digit and must be one of those. Right, where is this digit in this box? It's not one of those two. 5 and 7, see that one. So this is the green digit and that is a 5 or a 7. Okay. Eight and 8. 8's not in any of those. That can't be an 8 because I can't put an 8 on the diagonal. That's the 8. That's the 1. The 8 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 8. The 9 looks across, saying that's not the 9, so that's the 3. This is now the 9, and this is the 2 that must be on the diagonal, and this is a 2, 3, 9. So this is a 3, which makes this a 3 by palindrome, making that a 5, 6. And this is 2, 3, 9, so there's no 6. That's the 3, that's the 9. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The 6 is looking up, making that the 5 and that the 6. So what are these digits? 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, no, not 2, I've got 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 7, and 9. These are 5, 7, and 9, must contain 5, 7, and 9, must contain a 9. There's no 5 there. There's no 9 there. So that's the 9. This is a 5, 7. And it's the green 5, 7, if that helps in any way. What are these two digits? 1. Well, where's 1 in this column? That's the 1 in the column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6, which means yellow is 7 and green is 5. And that is, I think, breaking the back of the puzzle. That makes this the 7. As I said, I knew the tricks to this puzzle. It is a tricky start. I'd be very curious to see how people go on this one. This is 2, 3, and 8. The 3 takes 3 out of there. The 2 takes 2 out of there. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And the 6 looks across, making that the 4, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 8, which makes that the 4. The 8 looks back, making that the 2. It takes 2 out of there. These are 3 and 8. So this is 3 or 8. And the 3 looks up, making both of those 8, making that the 3. And I think I've broken the back of this puzzle now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, these are 3, 5, 6. So these are 3, 5, 6. The 3 and the 5 looks up, making that the 6. The 6 comes out of there. This is 3, 5. So these are 1, 2, and 4. The 2 4s take 4 out of both of those. So that's the 4. This is a 1, 2. The 5 looks up, making that the 6 and that the 5, which makes that the 5 by Sudoku, making that the 3. This column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, these are 2 and 3. The 2 means that's the 3, that's the 2. These are 1 and 9. I'll use the 1 to make that the 9 and that the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5. These are 1, 2, 3, and 6. The 6 looks down, making that the 1 and that 6. The 1 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 1. So this isn't the 1. What have we got in this box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 7. The 7 looks across, making that the 6 and that the 7. So triples. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. The 3 and the 6 means that's the 9. This is a 3, 6 with the 6 looking down, making that the 3 and that the 6. The 9 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 9. So I need to put a 1 in this box, not in those or there. That's the 1. This triple is 1, 2, 7, and 8. The 2 comes out of both of those. So that's the 2. And I'll use that 7 to make that the 8 and that the 7. And that is the solution to this puzzle. Now, you may look at a 20-minute time and go, that's not that tricky. I knew the tricks. I knew to look for the 8 in this box. I knew to look for the 1 in this column. I knew to look for the triples and then to push which parts of the palindrome to pressure on. This is more of a solve guide than a solve, and I'll fully acknowledge that one. When Maggie and I set this puzzle, we spent hours trying to refine it. We've spent a lot of time going through, well, hang on a minute, if we change that digit to that, that will put the pressure on the palindrome in this way. We spent a lot of time iterating this puzzle because of the way the anti-diagonals were interacting with this particular shape of palindrome. I really hope that you enjoy it because there was just so much going on, but it's hard to find. And I expect many of you are going to get stuck. And if not, then I'm just wrong about the difficulty of this one. And that can happen. It really can. All I'm trying to do is bring you good puzzles and try and push the limits a little bit of what I can do. But I will admit we created this one and left it for a bit and came back a few weeks later and tried a test solve. And this was I think it was before we'd actually done some refining. So the given digits weren't quite the same. And it took us like 2 hours and it was like, no, let's do some refining. But the break-in was basically the same. We put a lot of time into, and then we did some refining I think we changed 2 of the given digits to give the path a better flow. It's amazing what given digits can do. They can change a puzzle incredibly. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this pack. We've put so much work into this one. This and the Transverse Sudoku, which was the diagonal pack. Between the two of them, I reckon we've put like 150 hours of work into the 2 packs with the 24 puzzles, probably more if you think about it. It's been a huge amount of work, but so much fun. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for enjoying the puzzles, I hope. And yeah, as always, good luck with your solving.